We are discussing about chapter number 7, which is urban administration. So we are talking about urban administration. A city is much bigger than the village and it is more spread out. City has crowded markets, many buses and cars and water and electricity facilities, traffic control and hospitals. So have you ever thought that who is responsible for running all of these? How the decisions are made, how the planning is done, and who are the people who do all this work? So we are going to find out answers today for this. So one lazy Sunday afternoon, Mala and her friends, Shankar, Jahangir and Rehana, were playing a game of cricket in the street. This is how they are playing. Now what happened? Shankar had bowled a good over, and although he nearly managed to get Rehana out, she was still playing. Frustrated, he bowled a short ball and hoped she would hit it for an easy catch. Instead, Rehana did something else. He hit the ball so hard and so high that the street light broke. So this street light actually broke. Now Rehana screamed, "Oh no, look what I have done." Shankar said, "Yes, we forgot to make a rule that if you break the street light, you are automatically out." But Mala, Jahangir and Rehana were worried about what had happened and they told Shankar he would better stop thinking about the wicket. Last week, they had broken Nirmala Mausi's window and had spent their pocket money to have it replaced. Would they have to dish out money again from their pockets? But who would they pay this time? Or to whom? To whom did the lights on the street belong? Who changed them? Or who would change them? So Rehana's house was the closest and they ran and told her mother what happened. Now Rehana's mother said, "I don't really know these things in great detail. But I do know one thing. I know that it is the municipal corporation of the city that takes care of replacing the lights. The best person to ask would be Yasmin Khala. She just retired from the municipal corporation. So go and ask her, and Rehana, come back home soon." This is what she ordered to Rehana. Now Yasmin Khala lived in the same lane and she and Rehana's mother were good friends. So the children ran to Khala's house, and when she opened the door, they began to tell her what had happened all at once. When they asked about the street light, Yasmin Khala laughed and said, "There is no one person that you can pay the money to. There is a big organization which is called as municipal corporation that take care of street lights, garbage collection, water supply, keeping the streets and market clean. I have heard about the municipal corporation. They have put up signs around the city to inform people about malaria," said Mala. "Yes, you are quite right. The municipal corporation is also responsible for ensuring that diseases do not break out in the city. It also runs school, hospitals and dispensaries and makes gardens and maintains them." This Yasmin Khala said. Then she added, "Our city, Pune, is a big city. And so, here it is called as municipal corporation. If you go to smaller town, it will be called as municipal council." Municipal council. So the ward councillor or the parshad and administrative staff. Yasmin Khala, I'm curious, who decides where a park should go? Did you have to make interesting decisions like this when you worked in the municipal corporation? Rehana asked this. No, Rehana, I was working in the accounts office of the corporation, so I just worked on payslips. Cities are usually quite large, so the municipal corporation has to make a lot of decisions as well as do a lot of work to keep the city clean. So the decisions like where a park or a new hospital should go are usually made by the ward councillors or ward members. Now the city is divided into different wards, and wards councillor, they get elected. So they are elected by people. And the complicated decisions that affect the entire city are taken by a group of councillors who form different committees to decide and debate issues. For instance, if bus stands need to be improved, or a crowded marketplace needs to have its garbage cleared more regularly, or there is a nala or a drain that cuts through the city that needs cleaning, etc., it is these committees for water, garbage collection, street lighting, etc. that would decide on the work to be done. So when the people who are within a ward, then the people who live in the ward can always contact their councillors. For example, if there are dangerous electric wires hanging down, then the local councillor can help them get in touch with the electricity authority. So while the councillors committee and the councillors decide an issue, the commissioner and the administrative staff implement these issues. The decision is made by councillors and their execution is done by the administrative staff. So the commissioner and the administrative staff, they are appointed, councillors are elected. So how are these decisions made? Said Rihanna, who never gave up on her train of thought. Well, all of the ward councillors meet and they make a budget and the money is spent according to this. So the ward councillors try and ensure that the particular demands of their wards are placed before the entire council. And these decisions are then implemented by the administrative staff. This was said by Yasmin Khala. She was actually enjoying the questions. So before we go ahead, how does the municipal corporation get its money? Providing and running so many services, it requires a lot of money. So this municipal corporation or Nagar Nigam collect this in different ways. A tax is a sum of money that people pay to the government for the services the government provides. So people who own homes have to pay a property tax, as well as taxes for water and other services. Now, the larger the house, the more the tax. So property taxes, however, form only 25 to 30% of the money that a municipal corporation earns from it. So there are also taxes for education and other amenities. So if you own a hotel or a shop, then you have to pay a tax for this also. Also, the next time you go to see a movie, look carefully at your ticket. You are paying entertainment tax. Thus, while rich people account for property taxes, a much wider population pay more general taxes. So now let's get back to Yasmin Khala. She was enjoying the question being asked by the young kids. No adults asked her about this type of question, and children questions provided her an opportunity to relieve some of her experiences. But the city is so large, it must take a lot of people to look after it. Does the municipal corporation have a lot of workers? This was asked by Shekhar. So he had by now luckily forgotten about the cricket match and his incomplete over in between. Then Yasmin Khala, he uttered, yes, the work in the city is divided into different departments. So there is the water department, garbage collection department to look after gardens, another to look after roads. So I worked on accounts in the sanitation department. This was Yasmin Khala's submission, and then went on to offer the children some kebabs to eat. Now Jehangir ate his kebabs at top speed and he wolfed them down the arse. And he asked after that loudly from the kitchen, Yasmin Khala, where does the garbage that the municipal corporation collects go to? The others were still eating when Yasmin Khala began to answer. This question was an interesting question. As you know, you can usually find garbage lying all over the road, all over the street. So earlier, even our neighborhood used to have garbage lying all over. And if this remains uncollected, it attracts dogs, rats and flies. People would get ill from the smell. So at one point, things became so bad that the children even stopped playing cricket in the street because their parents were afraid that they would get sick, get fever or many diseases from staying on the streets too long. So before I go ahead, look at these pictures. This is the recycling. Recycling is not a new thing. People like this man in the photo above have been recycling paper, metal, glass and plastic for a long time. The kabadi wala plays a major role in recycling household plastic and paper, including your notebooks. Now the community protest. Yasmin Khala continued. The women were very unhappy about the situation and even came to me for advice. So I said I could try and speak with some officer in the department, but I wasn't sure how long it would take. Then it was Gangabai who said that it is the ward councillor who we should go to and protest, since we are the ones who elected him. So she gathered a small group of women and went to his house. They began shouting slogan in front of his house, and he came out and asked them what was wrong. So Gangabai described the situation in the locality to him. He promised to go with them the next day to meet commissioner, and he asked Gangabai to get a petition signed by all the adults in the locality saying that garbage was not being collected. So he suggested that taking the local sanitation engineer with them the next day might be a good idea. So the sanitation engineer could also speak with commissioner and tell him how bad the situation is or was. So that evening, children ran from house to house, making sure that as many families as possible signed this petition. The next morning, a large group of women and the ward councillor and the sanitation engineer went to the municipal corporation office, and the commissioner met with large group and began giving excuses saying the corporation did not have enough trucks. But Gangabai smartly replied, "But you seem to have enough trucks to collect garbage from the rich localities." That must have left him lost for words. This Jahangir quipped. Yes, he said that he would take care of it immediately, and Gangabai threatened that if it was not done in 2 days, a larger group of women would protest in front of the corporation. This Yasmin Khala said. So did the streets get clean? Asked Rehana, who never let things remain unfinished. Well, not within 2 days, and then after another larger and more noisy protest, the sanitation service in this locality became more regular. Wow, this sounds just like a Bollywood film with a happy ending. So what has changed since Yasmin Khala has retired? What Yasmin Khala did not mention to the children was that in recent times, in order to save money, the commissioners of several municipalities across the country, they have actually hired private contractors to collect and process the garbage. So this is called subcontracting. So this means that the work that was earlier being done by government workers is now being done by the private company. So these contract workers get paid less and their jobs are temporary. So collecting garbage is also quite a dangerous job, and often these contract workers do not have any access to safety measures and are not taken care of if they are injured while on work. And after this, Mala understood what was the role of Gangabai. So the children enjoyed hearing Gangabai's story immensely, and they had sensed that Gangabai was much loved and respected, and now they understood why. So they got up and thanked Khala for answering their questions, and then before they left, Rehana said, "Oh, I have one last question, Khala. The 2 dustbins that we have at home now, are they also Gangabai's idea?" And Khala began laughing. No, not really. The municipal corporation was the one who actually suggested that we do this to help keep our streets clean. Then we sort our own garbage. It reduces their work, their burden. So the children thanked Khala and walked back down the street together. It had become quite late and they needed to get back home ASAP. So for some reason, the street seemed darker than usual. They looked up and then looked at each other, smiling, and just ran back again to Khala house because the actual question was still unanswered. Who is going to change the light and whom to ask for? So let us talk about city of Surat. Surat, now after Chandigarh, the second cleanest city in India. The city of Surat had a plague scare in 1994. Surat was one of the dirtiest cities in India. Houses, hotels and restaurants would come and dump their garbage into the nearest drain or street, which made it very difficult for sweepers to collect and transfer the garbage into selected dumps. In addition to this, the municipal council did not collect the garbage as often as it should have, and this led to the situation getting worse. So plague spreads through the air and people who have the disease have to be isolated because this was a communicable disease. So in Surat, several people lost their lives and over 300,000, 3 lakh, deserted the town. They left the town. So the scare of the plague ensured that the municipal council completely cleaned up the city. To this date, Surat continued to remain the second cleanest city in India after Chandigarh. See the change. People realize that if you don't live a clean life or you don't have clean neighborhood, you are going to die. So do you think when and how often this garbage is being collected at your neighborhood? All these questions we are going to answer when we'll have question answer series. So this is all about this topic. We learned a lot about how the waste management, the Nagar Nigam and the actual urban administration, how it is done. So municipal corporation we have seen. Thank you so much.